Hey guys, we're gonna continue talking about the lining and the shading method. Right here I have ink with me and I have my tattoo or practice skin, and we're gonna talk about lining. Have my liner with me right here, and we're gonna try to do the different method of lining. So first one is the push method. Remember I said there are two methods, which is the pushing and pulling method. So the push method is pretty much pushing away from you. So if you're lining and you're a certain angle, you will be able to use that pushing method to push away from you. And it's simple. It pretty much means that you're pushing the tattoo away from you, or you're pushing that line away from you, which goes like this. Let me zoom in for you guys so you guys can see how that goes. And right there, I think that's perfect. And we're gonna push. And that's all it is about. That's the pushing method. That's all it's about. As you can see, my line, I was pushing my line outwards. So now let's talk about the pulling method. The pulling method, like I said again, is you pulling towards you. You're pulling the tattoo towards you, or you're pulling that line towards you. And it's the same way. You're just gonna be pulling towards you instead of pushing away from you, which goes like this. As you can see, you see the difference? You push away and you pull towards you. So that's the difference between the pulling and the pushing. Two different styles, they're both effective. You can use it when tattooing. It just only, what I'll say is, when you're in a different angle of tattooing, that's when it comes in. So always think about what method you're using before you actually do that line. So now we're going to talk about shading. Shading, there are four forms of shading. You have the pendulum, which is the rocking back and forth, or the airplane mode. You have the circling mode, which is just circling to get a gradient shade. And you have the stippling mode, which is just a flicking of your hand to get that consistent, like broken line. And then you have the whipping, which is just shading one area and then flicking out the rest of it. So I'm going to demonstrate that also using my, I'll use a bigger needle. I'll use my 23 Magnum. Okay. Let me try to see if you guys can see how my hand is going to be rocking back and forth. Right there. Okay, got it. So pretty much this is how it goes, back and forth, back and forth. That's the pendulum, which means just rocking back and forth. So think about it like an airplane going up and down. How it goes up and how it lands. That's what the pendulum is. Just to get that consistent gradient of shading, that's what the pendulum does. And you can see right here, you see that you can tell that the machine was moving back and forth. That's all what it is about. That's all it is. Okay. So the other method we're going to be talking about is the circle method. A circle method is pretty much when you have like a darker spot you want to get into, you want to get that area dark, you move that area like so. This is the circle motion. That's a circle shading. You just get that area dark and you keep going with it. And that's what the circle is about. As you can see, my hand motion is in circle. That's all it's about. Different technique also. Now you can also tell if you want it to be dark or you want it to be lighter, just by how you move your hand, how hard you go into the skin or how soft you go into the skin. That's how you can tell how dark you want it to be. You can see again, circle, circle, circle. This is all just to get that one dark spot. Now we're gonna move on to the third one, which is the stippling. Now the stippling can be done with a mag, or you can also use your liner to get the stippling effect. So stippling effect is pretty much dragging the machine well, with the Magnum you can't see as much that is going on. Let me try with the round liner, and so you can see what I'm talking about, because this is mostly achieved with a liner. So if you see, I'll do the rock and forth motion again, and I'll zoom in so you guys can see. Okay, clean it out for you guys. I believe you can see the difference in that. Let me zoom down for you guys so you can see the difference in that. And you see the difference. Right here, number one is the pendulum going back and forth motion. Number two right here is the circling motion. You see the circle. And number three is the stippling process, which you see I achieved that just by using a liner. Alright, so we're gonna go to number four, which is the whip shading. Now the whip shading, you can tell it's a whip shading by how it looks. So the whip can be achieved when you do the circle motion and then flick it. So circle, flick, circle, flick, circle, flick. So what that is showing is one side is going to be darker and the other side is just going to be light shading, as you can see right there. And then right there is going to be really dark, and my other side is going to be pretty light. There you go. That's how you achieve that. So pretty much this is just putting two type of style together. You're doing the circle motion and then you're doing the pendulum, pretty much the pendulum style, so method, so to achieve the whip shading. And you can see circle and then whip out, circle and whip out. That's what it all about. Let me go ahead and wipe that for you guys so you guys can see again. So you see the difference? Pendulum, circle, stippling, whip shading. All three different methods, but they all achieve different shading techniques. All achieved by different shading techniques. It's up to you what style or what shading you think will go with the tattoo you're doing, and achieve that. But these are the four various type of shading that I use when I'm tattooing.